is the topic of today's episode 83 of 100 Songs, where I talk about 100 songs that I really like and really appreciate from 100 different bands. Today, Motorhead and the song Iron Fist off of 1982 album of the same name. Founded in 1975 in London, England, and disbanded in 2015 due to the unfortunate death of Lemmy Kilmister. And that is 40 years of kicking ass and so much to talk about with Motorhead. We're not really going to get to a whole lot here because with such a storied, long, and magnificent career as Motorhead, my silly little YouTube episode isn't really going to even scratch the surface. But we will cover a little bit, and we'll hear a little bit of Iron Fist, talk a little bit about Motorhead, because that's what we do. This is a bite-size, episode, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Motorhead, 40 years, groundbreaking, super influential, credited for, kind of influencing a lot of what metal came from, hard rock, whatever you want to call it. I guess the one consistent member, the leader, really is Motorhead, is Lemmy Kilmister. Bass, vocals, just all around icon in the music world. Real name Ian Fraser Kilmister. Started with Hawkwind on the Coming Soon album. Started playing rock and roll in 1964, which is a really long time ago. Kicked out of Hawkwind in 1975 on a drug possession charge. And then formed Motorhead and named the band after the last song that he wrote for Hawkwind. Now, I like Hawkwind quite a bit. Not like I like Motorhead, but I do like Hawkwind, and they're on my list, and we haven't got to it yet. So somewhere in the next 18 episodes or whatever, we'll get to it. But classic lineup. Let's talk about the early lineup when they were a three-piece. Really, a lot of super iconic stuff in their early years. We've got, of course, Phil Taylor on drums, Eddie Clarke on guitar, Lemmy, bass and vocals, and so many great albums. We're not even gonna do the rundown. But this classic lineup ended with the album The Iron Fist, which is what we're featuring here today. So that was the end of an era. I call it the early years. It's kind of a middle era where we had a mix of players. Another Perfect Day with Brian Robinson on guitar. Everything I read talks about how that was kind of an awkward partnership, but his playing was really, really good. I love Another Perfect Day. I think it's a great album. I wish they had lasted longer. I get it, I guess, but 2 or 3 albums would have been great with those three. I did a pumpkin on that album. I carved a pumpkin using as a template Another Perfect Day. It's a great album. And then the middle era also includes, Phil Campbell, also Wurzel, and then there was a Phil Taylor reunion. They had another drummer for a little bit. Phil Taylor came back, left again. And then you get into the three-piece again with Phil Taylor on guitar, Mickey D on drums, and Lemmy on bass, and that was how it ended. They went a really long time, and I call that kind of the later era. So there's sort of 3 different eras, and I love them all. I don't even know what my favorite is. Probably the early, the classic stuff. I like the sound of all that, but their later stuff is really good too. There's some really, really good stuff in all of it. Their whole 40 years, there's like really good stuff there. I discovered them in high school between Rock and Roll and then the live album No Sleep at All. I don't remember what, I think I was a junior, something like that. Don't even remember how I discovered them, but I remember this one kid in my class liked them also, and I think I was 17. I had just gotten my driver's license, and I listened to a shitload of Motorhead on cassette in my car, and started with Rock and Roll. And then I think before that was Orgasmatron, and then you just go back and back. And Rock and Roll is kind of that middle era, I guess. And then I went back in the catalog, and then from that point on, I was a fan, and every time something came out, I would get it. Tapes became CDs, of course, and then everything kind of went digital. I stuck with the CD thing for quite a bit there. But love the band, seen them live one time, and I'm so glad that I was able to see them. I saw them in the San Jose Arena, or Event Center, I guess they call it. Pretty small-ish venue. Not a small venue like a bar. It's kind of a maybe Fillmore size. I don't know. It's maybe bigger than that, actually. Bigger than Fillmore. Anyway, who cares? It was great. Glad I got to see him. It was in the later era. I think it would have been the mid-90s. Either way, I'm glad I got to see him live, because they really were a big part of my soundtrack in my youth. Late teens, early 20s. And like I mentioned in my last episode, when Prince died, I was really bummed out. And then when Lemmy died, I was also really bummed out. So, let's listen to a little bit of Iron Fist. This clip I'm going to play, I don't think I've done any clips from the beginning. I usually pick a section of the song that's my favorite section and play a little bit, but this one, I will say, I know where, this is making me realize, I know where I discovered him. It was MTV, I think. No, it wasn't MTV. Fuck, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But the video, I saw the video somewhere, and the second it started, it got my attention immediately. And I was like, what the hell? And then I immediately started trying to figure it out. Today, when that happens, you just get your phone out and you're like, well, let's listen to some shit. Back then, pre-internet, pre-digital, it was like, well, the only way I'm going to get anywhere is if I leave the house and go buy a tape and hope I got the right tape or talk about it. I mean, it was really a thing. It was really a thing. Super different. Almost appreciate shit more back then. I think people in my generation understand where I'm coming from. Listen, the internet, great. The instant access to everything, pretty amazing. But I have to say the kind of what we went through back in the day made it a little bit, I think, more special, but whatever. Rambling old man here. So let's listen to Iron Fist from the top, and it's just right away you just get kind of the essence of what Motorhead is. You like that squeaking sound on the mic? I just realized I was doing that. I'm like, well, that's really good internet content. All right. Fucking idiot. All right, here we go. Iron Fist, right out of the gate, just goes. Turn that up. I like the way it's mixed. I don't think this is a remaster either. Classic Phil Taylor drums. Prepare to die. All right, I'm not going to keep going, even though it gets into the guitar solo. That was about half the song, actually. It's a short song. A couple of things I remember and about the video when I first saw it and subsequent viewings was, he had the microphone way up here, and he's like singing into the microphone. I thought that was cool. And then one of the parts of the song where he says, the Iron Fist, he like stares into the camera and makes a snarly face. And I was like, well, I got to hear more of this now. I have to. It's important. I saw a documentary. Well, there is a documentary on Lemmy. I don't remember what it's called. Wouldn't be hard to find, but great documentary. Super interesting. Motorhead. That's it. So last thing I wanted to do was I was at the Van store. It's been a couple years now, and they had a special release of Vans. There was some skateboarder that was a big Motorhead fan, and he had the opportunity of designing his own shoes and made a Motorhead or something like that. Anyway, I saw this in the store. I was shopping for shoes for my kids, and I immediately was like, I gotta get a pair of these. So I did, and they're now collector's items, and I've worn them. So, you can't really sell them when you wear them, I don't think. Well, maybe you can, but not for what they're worth. But you can see they've got the logo on the back, which is awesome. You got an image you can't see it in the shoe itself, of the skull and chains. And then it came with this bandana. Is that showing up? Fuck yeah. So cool. And then it also came with this Born to Lose, Live to Win, which is also on the box. And then you open that up and dump it out. You get a guitar pick, because why not? That's out of focus. Awesome. And then you get this, which you're not going to be able to read because it's out of focus. What's it say? Ian Lemmy Kilmister, December 24th, 1945, Christmas Eve. And December 28th, 2015. So he died, in December, born December, died December. Very cool. Focus, you fucker. Why isn't that focusing? Because it's a piece of shit, that's why. You should have spent more money. Alright, well, fuck it. And then the other thing is this. I put a coin in there. That's Vans. Why are you showing it to us if we can't see it? I don't know. I didn't plan this shit. I didn't plan this to fucking go wrong. Coin. Oh, look at now it focuses. Look at that. Born to Lose, Live to Win, Motorhead. Coin. Would it do this now? Would it focus now? Yeah, kinda. Anyway, super badass. They put it in this little envelope. I will cherish it forever. Now I'm blurry. Fuck. Okay, I'll fix this shit later. Oh, what's this? Oh, just the shoelaces. Okay. Hello. All right. Well, let's go to the wheel. Okay, next episode. One of my all-time favorite bands, Sonic Youth, and we will talk about them next time. Thanks.